Welcome to a special episode of So-and-So, brought to you by BERNINA, made to create. I'm Meg Goodman, and you're about to join us for an exclusive and never-before-available experience inside BERNINA University, the annual conference hosted by BERNINA for their dealers and special guests. We're in Dallas, Texas, where we're spending the next 4 days bringing you the energy and relationships that only BERNINA can bring. This event is the pinnacle of the year for the attendees. More than 500 dealers, 150 vendors, and 150 BERNINA team members come here from all over the world to learn about new sewing techniques, hear from industry luminaries, network with their fellow dealers, and anxiously await new product introductions. Not to mention to have a little fun along the way. The temperatures in Dallas this year are record-breaking, and so are the numbers of participants, so even a little weather issue couldn't keep anyone away. Everything here in Dallas is big, and at BU, everything this year is even bigger with the launch of 3 new machines and many more treats. So join us now as we share this exclusive look at BERNINA University 2023.
We're here for fun and to see what's new and upcoming on BERNINA's.
It's my probably 20th year at BU, and I love opening session because it's a rah-rah fun time.
This is my first year at BU, so I'm pretty excited to see what it has in stock for us all.
The new machine, the sewists, our wonderful community that we're in, that's the joy.
Just learning as much as I can. Yeah.
We asked Pam Mahshie, business manager of overlockers for BERNINA, who lives in Texas, why Texas is special and why it's a great place to host BU.
I mean, the people here in Texas really are very special. They have a great community that's built, and it's very much like the sewing community, where everyone just builds and nurtures each other, which really helps cultivate a great relational business that we are in. And I love being here. And even though it's 115 degrees, it's generally a great place to be.
And so the buildup was met with everything attendees had anticipated for weeks, as Paul Ashworth, president and CEO of BERNINA of America, opened the 4-day event.
I realized this morning that my perception of time and life is evolving. I used to think of my age in relation to the years of my daughters and how they were growing. And then this morning I realized, no, I'm measuring my life now by how many BUs I attend. So, this is BU number 12 for myself. But it's the first time for me having BU here in Texas. So it's great to be here. Thank you. District Q. And I had promised to a couple of dealers that I would try and be a little, Western during BU. And, in a British sense, this is kind of as good as it gets. But I did wear the boots. So there. Okay.
Then, more BERNINA stars followed suit.
Please welcome BERNINA of America Vice President Education and Training, Christy Burcham.
Well, I'm excited. Are you? Yes! I thought so.
Please welcome BERNINA International Vice President of Marketing, Claudia Stauber.
Are you all having a big day so far? Good! It's truly a big day for me today because I see such a joyful and colorful crowd and such an enthusiastic BERNINA community, and this is what the new campaign is all about.
Hillebrandt, CEO of BERNINA International, joined the excitement.
I never thought Texas would be so hot because if you fly over, it's nice and green. You think, oh, that's lush. I'm happy that we do everything inside, I tell you. Everybody has done a tremendous job making this happen. So for the whole team, not only BERNINA of America, but everybody involved, I kindly ask you a big hand of applause. I wish you all the best for this BERNINA University. I thank you for coming here by bus, by car, by plane, or by foot. And I'm very happy that you spent 4 days with us and that you take the time, which obviously is not something normal. I very much appreciate that. Thank you very much.
finally, the moment people had been waiting for, the introduction of the namesake of one of the new bernette machines.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Yaya Han.
Thank you for having me. Oh my gosh, I'm back at BU.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Well, you're pretty comfortable being on stage, all the different projects that you do, but how does it feel seeing this baby up here?
Oh, unreal. I mean, it has my name on it. I had to scribble my name many times until I was happy with one that could go on the machine. So it's truly an honor. Thank you for the Bernette team. Thank you, BERNINA, for giving me the opportunity to create a sewing machine together.
And what was that process like as you were developing the machine?
Well, it's always been my dream. Like I have been sewing and making costumes for over 20 years. And of course, it's like, oh my God, wouldn't it be awesome if, one day I could. But then, because I had the chance to be a BERNINA ambassador back in 2017-18, and I got to come here to BU to be to help unveil the 590. I don't know if anyone was here in Vegas. I was up here and I saw you here, and I actually did a video about the introduction of what cosplay is. So to come back after 5 years and actually have my own machine, I think it shows how far the sewing industry and the cosplay industry have sort of come together, and how big the market has gotten. And so working with the Bernette team, I feel like there was already trust from the beginning, because they knew me already. They knew I was going to be on time. I was going to reply to my emails and be there for the meetings, and that I had lots of ideas. So I'm very proud of the cosplay community. I really believe in them. I've been a part of it for 20 years. I've watched them evolve and grow, and this is a tenacious community. This is a market of consumers who will get whatever they will do whatever it takes to make the costume. And they are very passionate DIYers. They will experiment with all kinds of different fabrics and techniques and combine materials. And I think that's just so exciting to have such creative people come into, and have access to tools like this. And I think what the cosplay consumer will add to the BERNINA market is truly just infusion of creativity and a new generation of sewists that will be loyal to you. Once cosplayers find something that works for them, then they will stick with it. And even after they stop cosplaying, they're going to continue to sew.
Christy Burcham, Vice President of Education and Training, summed up the kickoff and sent attendees on their way to experience an intense 4 days of education and community building.
And here's wishing you a joyful BERNINA University.
It's a big, big day. In addition to the Bernette 79 Yaya Han Edition sewing machine, BERNINA rolled out their brand new 790 Pro. This event not only provided great information about this product, it also gave attendees the opportunity to drive it for themselves. Packed full of new and amazing features, this machine absolutely wowed everyone.
I'm Jackie from Sew Special Quilts in San Antonio. This 790 is totally awesome. I love the pinpoint placement, how you can make crazy designs. So I am all over this machine. This is great.
It's amazing.
I love it. It is quiet, it's fast, and it's perfect placement.
What did you think of the 790?
I loved it. I love the laser. It makes it so precise on where you start your seam. I thought that it was really helpful for placement of my quilting design and in the embroidery design. It's just a whole new world.
And even an opinion from faraway New Zealand praised this new machine.
I'm Robin Curd from Taringa, New Zealand.
Robin, what did you think of the 790?
I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's smooth. The features everyone is going to love. and the stitching is beautiful.
In addition to the event's theme, Share the Joy, BERNINA introduced their new campaign, It's a Big Day. Claudia Stauber, Vice President of Marketing for BERNINA International, spent some time with us to explain the campaign.
Here at BERNINA University, you unveiled the new marketing campaign, It's a Big Day. And I'd love for you to tell us about this.
Yeah, actually we worked on this for 2 years. First of all, we defined what BERNINA as a company and as a brand stands for. And we did interviews with consumers, with dealers, with colleagues of BERNINA, also internationally, to define where do we want to go, what is our purpose, what do we want to portray. And we defined as our purpose, or why we exist, that we want to share the joy for sewing, to make it easy for customers to enter the BERNINA world, to have access to product, to have access to support, to inspiration, and also make it easy to sew. And that's everything we want to do under the share the joy for sewing. And based on this, we didn't just want to put joy on all the advertising. We thought about how can we celebrate the joyful moments our consumers have with BERNINA. And it can be small and it can be big moments. And all of them make the day of our consumers. And we wanted to celebrate that under the hashtag A Big Day.
So in the opening assembly, you showed videos, you showed examples of what a big day could be, and it could be just about anything. Would you give us some examples?
A big day can be when you finish a project, when you feel proud of it. It can be the day that you gift it to somebody and make somebody else happy. I mean, a really big day is when you bring a BERNINA machine home and you buy one. But it can also be just the day you have time to sew, you have a quiet moment you have been longing for a long time. Sometimes big days are at night when you have time to sew, or when you learn a new feature or a new function or a new skill or a new technique. All of these are big days for our consumers, and every consumer has a story to tell. And whenever we show the videos to consumers, they resonate with it because they have sometimes the same story, or they can relate to that story. So I think it's a really personable and authentic and emotional campaign.
What's a big day for you?
A big day for me is here at BU when I was able to present the new campaign, and above all to see all the positive reactions. When you now enter hashtag A Big Day into social media on Instagram, for example, it's full of posts of BU attendees that also now post under a hashtag A Big Day about their big moments here at BU. So that makes me really proud, and a big day.
We got to know Claudia a little better personally, and we found out what makes her tick. No pun intended.
I've been a marketeer all my life, and before I joined BERNINA, I was working for a Swiss watch company for about 10 years, and I see a lot of similarities. It's also a Swiss product, a premium product. It is a complicated and complex product, and I always thought a mechanical watch engine or movement is the most complicated thing you can do, and I learned better. A sewing machine is even more complicated because you have mechanics, you have electronic, you have software, you have the user, you have different threads, you have different fabrics. And that what fascinates me. It's such a highly technological product, but that brings joy to the user and supports them and is a tool for them to enjoy their hobby. So there I see a similarity. And after the watch company, I moved to Zermatt, where the second most beautiful mountain after the BERNINA mountain is, the Matterhorn. And I lived there for 2 years to promote Zermatt worldwide. And I especially enjoyed my spare time and free time when I was able to go ski and bike in the mountains. So that's my background. think it's just always very inspiring to be at BERNINA University because you get so much enthusiasm back. Sometimes we sit in Stackborn a little bit lonely and we work on things, and when you finally see it come to life, it's really inspiring and gives you a lot of energy to go back to work on next year's launches.
Annette Varner, brand manager for BERNINA International, also added her thoughts on the campaign's genesis.
First, we were looking for agency. Actually, we were looking for a new agency because we didn't work with an agency for the last years. So, and then we found cool guys. They are working from New York, from Berlin, from Switzerland. So they're very international. And we thought, okay, they matching good with our company. And then we were, of course, explaining them the branding, what does BERNINA stands for. I mean, we have a long tradition, and the machines. They didn't know anything about sewing and the sewing industry first, but they learned a lot very quickly, and they came up with that idea, with the big day idea, because this campaign has so much legs. You can spread it into many directions, and we really liked the ideas, and we're really crazy about this idea. And she thought, okay, let's do that. So, and I think everything comes together with Big Day. It's not only for staff or internal people, but it's of course for the customers, but it's all together. So it's a BERNINA world, and this is what we liked and created together with the agency this new idea. I think it's important that they know it's a family company, it's a Swiss company, and we have a lot of tradition, and we like to live our traditions. I mean, it's a quality thing, the family thing, and I think it's when you work for BERNINA, you feel this. We are family. It's really much. It's really true. It's not only that we say it for customers. It's really like family. And I think people outside and the customer should know that it's really everybody's doing everything by heart. We're really passionate about the brand, the machines, and we really want to do a good job and to make the customer happy.
Representing BERNINA of America, Michaelynn Rose, who is their Vice President of Marketing, shared her version of a big day.
It means it's a big day, is what it means. You know what? I'm so excited to be here. We are launching some amazing products, and everyone is so excited to come in and be together and share the joy and have their big day. So we have a brand new top-of-the-line machine, a 790 Pro, that has so many features. It's incredible. It has pinpoint placement for all points, which is huge in the industry. It's a first, really. And so many more features and options, including a real automatic needle threader. And I got to tell you, my eyes aren't what they used to be, so that needle threader is a lifesaver.
And then there's the laser.
Oh yeah, the pinpoint laser there. So you can follow your stitches everywhere, but what really is spectacular is if you're doing a finish quilting on top, you can, to line all that up when you move your hoop, it's precise and perfect.
Always one of our favorite things is to catch up with people who have been a part of this podcast, and BU provided some terrific opportunities to do so. Sarah Caldwell from BERNINA International, Sarah Joyner from We All Sew, and Sue from Sookie Sews gave us updates.
Yeah, Meg, it's really great to be here. It's a big highlight for me this time of the year to come. I mean, it doesn't matter how warm it is outside. I like the warmth inside as well, even though it is a bit chilly.
Now, you were a guest on this podcast, maybe 2 years ago. You were one of our initial guests. You've been busy since then with BERNINA and just life. What's new?
Well, I've been very busy with the development of our new products. So we're talking, of course, the wonderful 790 Pro. I was very busy doing some of the sewing projects that we've used in the advertising. And, of course, I'm always a big Kaffe fan because I love color. So some of the projects there, and also my own sewing for different events that we do. For me, it's really important that we're reusing and recycling, and wherever possible, I'm trying to use up stuff I already have, or go to the thrift stores, get old clothes and reuse them, and try and encourage other people, because it's a really cost-effective way of getting into sewing, because you don't have to start from scratch. You've already got a thing that you just have to change it a little bit.
What's your favorite part of BU this year?
So far, I think it's the fact of seeing people again, that family feeling, and it's just, I just enjoy it so much, and being able to share my knowledge with people is always a big thing, and if they can go away and having learned something, it makes me happy.
Sarah Joyner, it's so good to see you at BERNINA University. How are you?
I have been up to so much. I am in the process of building a house, and so I'm designing a whole new sewing room. I think we talked about that a little bit on the podcast. So I very recently moved into an RV until we finished building the house. So I'm in the process of learning how to sew in an RV and learning what little tools are actually important to bring with me. So it's been a experience, that's for sure.
So what's different about sewing in an RV? What's the big thing that you learned?
I am very limited on space, and so I had to be very specific as to what tools I brought and what I could live without. And I've kind of organized everything into little bins, and I've got all my very, very organized. You got to be neat and organized in order to keep it all in an RV. Looking forward to a lot more classes once I have my space set up.
It's so good to see you again. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing, and what's new since we met last?
Oh, hi, Meg. I'm doing really good. There's so many new things. I've really focused on sergers this past year and new serger patterns. And so that's what I'm really focusing on here at BERNINA University, and so excited to show everybody all of the new things.
What's a big day for you?
Oh, man. Well, obviously, my big day for my experiences with BERNINA was when I did the filming for the BERNINA Expert campaign for V9 software, and that was just amazing. So, yeah, that for sure is a big day. But even being here at BERNINA University and being able to get to see the dealers from all over the country and all over the world, there's some international folks here, and sharing with them some new things. So, for me, this is my big day, sharing new patterns.
What do we have to look forward to coming up for you next?
I am really excited because I've got some new video content that's going to be coming out along with some of the new patterns and some sew-alongs, and just really focusing on video. And but you know what? I got some teaching gigs coming up too this year. I'm looking forward to. So I will be around.
And Sylvain Bergeron from BERNINA gave us a taste of what we'll hear from him on a future episode. How many BUs have you been to?
This is number 27 on staff, and I was interviewed the year before the first one at BU. So I started with BU.
What have you seen as the progression of the conferences? How have they changed in those 27 times?
They've grown. Technology has moved on. The display technologies are way better than they used to be. We used to just hang quilts on tables. Now we have these beautiful, vibrant, placards and banners and backdrops. It helps with the mood, and BU is where we introduce technologies, new machines, new products. So there's always the excitement factor. But to me, the biggest thing, first, it's a hug fest. And I've known some of these people for over a quarter century, and we seek each other out, and it's a chance to catch up. But for store owners especially, it's a time to network with us and among themselves. And for the store staff, it's a bit like the kids in the candy shop. They come here, they see all this exciting stuff, the products, stuff that they may not even know they have at the store or they don't have yet. And they take the classes. They're hungry for this, and they take it back to their store. So there's this kind of appetite to come to BU. Everybody's looking forward to it. It's the high point of the year. And pretty much everybody leaves tired but pumped up.
What have you been working on lately?
I've been teaching a BERNINA boot camp on the road quite a bit. I monitor training at the office. When we train new stores, for instance, I'm the helper. And my role there also is to create the brand imprint, convey what the brand means. Because a lot of our new stores have multiple brands. So what differentiates BERNINA? And as I always tell them, we don't just drink the Kool-Aid, we make the Kool-Aid. But we still drink it. I'm still a user. I still sew, make samples, and I love my BERNINAs. So training on the road has been more this year. We're back to traveling more after the pandemic. And project-wise, the boot camp will become a course online. So I'll be homebound for a change. July and August, we'll be filming and packaging the boot camp for online delivery. So that would be fun. Because instead of 40 people maybe taking a boot camp, you could have 400 people take it and benefit from it. So that's pretty much what's going on for now. And then in the fall, there'll be some travel again. So I've asked to travel. My prayers were answered. And I'm familiar with the airport now.
Be careful what you ask for, right?
No, it's great. I love to be with people. Sitting in front of a computer is just not satisfying as much for me. We joke at the office that I'm such an introvert. It's good for me to go in front of people. I like to use a equestrian analogy. So you buy a machine, you take your guide classes. BERNINA 880 has 1,700 some stitches. It takes a while to get around. So you take your guide classes. They covered all the basics. It's like putting the saddle on the horse. You get on the horse and you're all wobbly, right? Something like the boot camp will take you further while you will ride that horse when you're done. Like the freehand system, the 4 ways to secure a seam, stuff you can use in every project, and not just a project that will feature some side of the machine. No, it's like all the good stuff in the machine that you can use in every project. That's where I come from. Kind of back, I come from the back of the street.
Cosplayers will be a new market of focus for Bernette, a sister company to BERNINA. After months of planning and research and development, the new Bernette 79 Yaya Han Edition was unveiled at BERNINA University. And who better to tell this story than Carolyn Kinder, Brand Manager for Bernette.
And we just started with a talk about this project and how she would feel if she would be an ambassador for that machine, and for Bernette, if she could be the one for Bernette, spreading out the message of Bernette. And then step by step we got deeper in that, and Yaya got involved in that, and she was just like, yes, this is the machine for me. Of course, first we had to find out which would be the proper machine that she would feel comfortable with, and then defining the bundle, which would be the appropriate bundle for the cosplayer community we wanted actually to target with that machine or with that bundle. And so step by step, then it came like a puzzle together. The cosplay market is really interesting, and all those personalities I met so far in this industry, those are so kind people, and they are so open to everybody, and they are so warm welcoming everybody. Nevertheless, if you know what cosplay even is, they're just welcoming and they are helping each other. And so for me, it was just like, this is the group we really want to have with Bernette. Because Bernette is a brand which is which wants to bring the fun to the people outside. And it's a reliable machine. We have a reliable brand, and which is actually the machine everybody needs in his or her sewing room. And so for me, it is just the perfect match with the cosplayer. And the cosplayers are not seeking for a premium product, for the premium price product. They want to have a reliable machine. And we know cosplay they saw, but they also do other things. For cosplaying, you need crafting. You do so many other things around sewing. It's just one part of the process. And for that, we thought the Bernette machines are just the perfect match with them. And it's so cool to see how their costumes come together, and they're so passionate. Sometimes it takes them even over years to finish one costume. And it's so wonderful to see how the Bernette can actually be a part of that process and help them realize creating their characters they want to be at the end with this costume.
Yaya Hahn herself was on hand to talk about her passion for sewing, her relationship with Bernette, and her love for the cosplay community.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, get into sewing. Don't be intimidated by it. It is so therapeutic to just sit there and, the sort of like the sound of the machine as you run the fabric through, and like sort of like the iron, the sound the iron makes, the steam, and then you have like this crisp, beautiful seam, and then you can put it on you and it fits you, and it's just amazing. That is when the dream kind of was like planted in me. Kind of like, wow, wouldn't it, like, these machines are so cool, but I wish that they did this, or I wish they came with these features, or they came with like these embroidery designs. And so that kind of was maybe planted in my head, but still very not realistic. It was just like truly just like a pipe dream. And so then out of nowhere, Claudia from BERNINA International emails me last year, and she's like, hey, we would like to make a sewing machine with you. And she had like bulletins and things that they wanted. They were ready. And it was like, I started crying when I saw that email. I did, because it was so apparent to me that it was like they were ready. It was like the time has finally come. It's now, it's been 4 years later. Whatever it is, like the seed that I planted or whatever, just this thought that was in my head now became a real possibility, because it was not a, hey, we'd like to work with you more. It was a, we want to do this machine. We're thinking this time, this is a timeline. Do you want to do it?
Wow.
And so from the beginning, it's been like a really amazing collaboration, because I think their team, they knew me already. It's like, it's not the first time we met, and we'd already worked together. They knew like I was going to reply to their emails on time, and that, I grew up in Germany. I'm very like, I think we mesh very well vibe-wise. And so then I, of course, have had more experience since then in the sewing space, and I'm like, no one knows this market better than me. I know exactly what cosplayers want and what they need and what's missing. And so we were, I think, all very confident, and we, I felt comfortable sharing all my ideas with them. And of course, I asked for the moon, at the beginning. I asked for all these different things, and they would like come back and be like, well, that's not quite realistic, or that would add a year to the development. And then I had enough experience in the, product development space that I could be like, okay, understand, let's pivot and do this other thing. So I think that's why we were so efficient and were able to develop the machine pretty fast, all things considering. And that is truly I credit the bernette team in Steckborn, especially Lee Dan, just completely took charge and was so open to my ideas, but also so realistic. And it was really cool, because she's Chinese, I'm Chinese. We both speak German as well, and it was just sort of really we just meshed really well, I think. And so what we are super excited about with the machine is first the colors and the look of the machine. It's very pretty. It's has a futuristic and modern wrap on it.
And you designed that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I designed it with the bernette team together, but I definitely talked to them about the colors, and we decided on the colors, and we decided that it wouldn't be called any a cosplay machine, that it should be my name, because while I represent cosplay, I also am in fashion and in other areas, and that way we would not have a machine that would be only limited to cosplay. You know what I mean? I hope that the sewing community can embrace cosplay as much as cosplay has embraced sewing. I think there is maybe a little misconception that cosplay and fandom are for younger people and people who consume this material all the time, that are gamers, or and it's not. The fandom space is open to everyone, and there is something that we all relate to. Here at BU, I see people wearing dresses they made with BERNINA printed fabrics, or Hawaiian shirts with sewing feet all over them, and people are dressing up to represent what they love, which is BERNINA. So it's the same at a comic book convention or at an anime convention. People come dressed in outfits that they made that just have elements of the characters. You know, they don't always dress up in full outfits. They sometimes do like the Disney bounding thing, you know, where like they make a, you know, like a simple fashion outfit, but it has, you know, a Pokemon on it or, you know, whatever, a Star Wars element to it. And so like we all share this, we have the same brain. Like we really, like we as humans want to express ourselves and want to, you know, show what we love. And so we're already doing the same thing, just in different spaces. So I really hope that the sewing community can, you know, maybe take the time to research the cosplay community a little bit, maybe read my book, and definitely I encourage everyone to go to a convention.
And why is this important to BERNINA?
We see the cosplayers as a really interesting community because they make all the costumes and they are really the ones that need a high quality machine with high stitch penetration power, because sometimes they really sew on unusual fabrics, and the Bernette 79 for sure supports them with that. And we also added the BERNINA embroidery software 9 creator, so they can digitize their own embroidery designs to decorate their costumes.
Of course, BERNINA University offers their dealers the opportunity to meet companies who provide the same quality goods as BERNINA. We got to visit with 3 of them new to this podcast. George from Horn of America explained who they are, what they do, and why their products are important to a BERNINA customer.
A little bit about our company is we've been in business for over 45 years. Everything that we make is made right here in Sutton, West Virginia. So basically the only thing that we manufacture is sewing machine cabinets. We have a Horn line. We manufacture a line for BERNINA. They're exclusive to them. They range anything from domestic machines all the way up to the long arm machines. We make sit-down cabinets for them. We also do some special serger tables for the BERNINA L series. We do have a few accessories that we offer, such as cutting mats, scissors, and chairs as well. One thing about our products, I think we make one of the best products on the market that supports the sewing industry as far as a piece of furniture, to have a nice place to sit down and create.
OESD weighed in from Oklahoma.
OESD stands for Oklahoma Embroidery Supply and Design, and we are a 35-year-old embroidery supply. We make embroidery designs and notions and stabilizers, and we import threads, and so we are a one-stop embroidery shop.
And you said you have a partnership, a relationship with BERNINA. Talk about that.
Yeah, they're our sister company, so we're part of the group of BERNINA, Brewer, Benertex, and OESD, which is really great because we get the support from that company. And it's also a really great collaboration. We work with them to help develop machine designs that go on the machines. We work with Brewer and Benertex to develop notions and things so that we can best support all of the consumers.
Gregory Verniche, who came all the way from France for BU, told us about his company as well.
4 years ago, like an accident just before the COVID, with the pre-cuts, there was a mood in France, and we made a test, and it was successful. So then we developed in France, and then we tried to sell abroad in Germany, Belgium, Spain, and as it was successful, we tried to come to the United States. And we came to Houston last year, we met Brewer, and we had very good contact, and then they decided to distribute us here.
What's your product?
Our product, I can show. I want to show you. Well, it's a fat quarter, but with a French size. Because in Europe, we produce fabrics in higher widths than in the United States. So when you cut in 4, it's bigger size than the American fat quarter. It's between 25 to 30% bigger.
Bob Negan is an instructor extraordinaire. He's a retail training expert who helps store owners and managers learn the business skills they need to succeed in today's changing retail environment. He shared a little bit about himself and the course he teaches, because BERNINA believes in investing in dealer training and education.
Well, I'm teaching fundamental business skills. What I know from my own experience as a retailer and what I know from working with BERNINA dealers and other sewing centers and quilt stores is that a passion for a product is usually what gets somebody into business, but a passion for your product is not enough to make you profitable. So what I share is, nuts and bolts information that can help a retailer run a more profitable business. And because when you run a more profitable business, you have a lot more fun and your life is a lot better. So
ultimately, what's the benefit to the consumer?
Well, a good retailer is always a benefit to the consumer. So a good retailer will give a consumer a better experience. They will sell them the right stuff, whether it's a machine, whether it's a project, whether it's notions, whether it's fabric. So a good independent retailer really has the ability to give the kind of experience that leads the quilting or sewing or sewer customer to having a better experience. I had my own independent chain of kite stores for 19 years. And so then after 19 years, I sold my company, my retail business to my brother, who was my junior partner, and he still runs it successfully to this day. And we started, my wife and I, my wife is a retail professional also, we started Whiz Bang Retail Training because we didn't want people to go through what we went through, what I went through in particular. She was a department store executive before she came to work for us. So how we got involved with BERNINA is, we just got... I'm a guy who speaks to independent retailers, and somehow I got in the sewing world, and somehow I got to involved with BERNINA, and since then I think I've spoken at BU 5 or 6 times now through the years, and I love it.
As we spent time throughout the week, we got to visit with a few more of our past so-and-so guests. A perennial favorite, Joe Vecchiarelli, had a lot to share and a big announcement to make.
Wow, we've had a whole array of things since the year. It's been a jam-packed year this year. Since Puyallup, as you know, Puyallup was a huge, huge success. It was amazing with Nick Varios up there and what have you. So we've got some plans coming up for this year. So starting this year, after Puyallup, we ended up in Georgia, down in Florida, and we got back from that. I've done a lot of stuff working with the studios, getting the studios up and wrapped up because we have to pre-wrap up for fall. It's done in advance, so I've been working with the studios on that. Since then, we've been up into Reno at the same time. We did a big show in Reno, the quilt show in Reno, which was a huge, huge success, a little mini Puyallup. And sold out up there. It was amazing. And we're real excited about Reno, the first time we attended Reno. And now we're down here at BERNINA University, which is really exciting. It's what a great event this is. It's been fantastic. The people have been here from all over the country. It's been amazing. We're real thrilled about Reno. We are now, after here, we're going to be heading back. I've got to get up to Minnesota. My daughter's getting married in Minnesota. And from there, I'm going to be attending the National Conference for American Sewing Guild, which is going to be in New York this year. So I've got heading up a whole huge project up in New York, sold out event. So I will be late at that event because I'll be at the wedding. But I've got somebody covering me for there. Actually, Nick Coman, one of my partners, will be teaching with me up there. So I'll join him in New York. We come back from New York, and then I'll be heading down to Irving, Texas. We're doing a big event there for OSQ in Irving, Texas. From Irving, Texas, then we get ready to go back. And we'll be going to Fredericksburg, Virginia, on the East Coast. And then from Fredericksburg, Virginia, we'll be heading up into Cincinnati. And then we're going to drop down into Nashville, Tennessee, good old Nashville. And then from Nashville, we'll be going down into Houston because it's Market and Festival, and I'll be teaching there. And then from Houston, then we'll head back up into Michigan to close out the show season, which ends on Thanksgiving. And then I have to wrap up Dancing with the Stars at that point. And in between there, we also are doing Dancing with the Stars at the same time, in between shows, flying in 2 days back and forth from the show to the West Coast, do my stuff, go back to the show. So it's going to be a real rigorous trip, but exciting at the same time. Lots of new things coming. Dancing with the Stars has come out. As you know, Len Goodman has passed this year, so we don't have Len Goodman on as a judge this year, and they're still looking for the filler on that respect. They've got a couple prospective professional dancers that they can't name them yet because it still hasn't been open, but there's somebody that's going to be named for his replacement. We're looking for a new exciting season. Every year it seems to get better and better, and the costumes seem to get better and better and better. When you've been doing it for as long as I've been doing it for 24 years, and in fitting and with the dress forms and what have you, because remember, all those costumes have to be fitted to a dress form, and if they don't fit a dress form, they certainly there's no costume because the dancers aren't there getting fitted with us. They're only there a couple minutes a week in fittings. So everything's made off of the body form. As we're demonstrating here at BERNINA University, fit is about body forms, get them and fit them and fit that person, and they can recreate the costume. And that's what's happening with Dancing with the Stars. So getting back to Dancing with the Stars, we're excited for this next season, and we'll see where it brings. We got some exciting news happening in 2024, which is something that's in the works right now, which has never happened with me before, but I've been hired by Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, and we're going to be doing a sewing cruise with Nick Verios, who did the Project Runway in Puyallup, and myself in April of 2024. And we're going to have about 150 to 200 ladies on the cruise ship sewing with BERNINA. And we're really excited to how that's going to work out. And we're working out all the logistics and details as we speak right now.
Marissa Marquez from Brewer caught up with us on what she's been up to and what a big day means to her.
I keep quilting. I can keep having new quilts. It's true that always, winter, summer, I try to come up with different projects. I've been kind of like back to my roots, so I've been doing only thread painting. So it was very nice, very tiring because it's a lot of hours, but it was really great. I'm working too in a series of quilts that there are going to be an overall pattern, very big pattern, that is kind of like unusual for me, and I'm not using so much thread. So it's like two new type of things. So I'm very excited. I already have 2 finished, so hopefully I want to have a series of 10, kind of like hide and peek quilts. So it's an overall with little secrets. So I think that is going to be very cute.
The theme of the new campaign for BERNINA is It's a Big Day. Mm-hmm. What's a big day for you?
A big day is usually when I'm able to do something new. Okay, I love experimenting, and sometimes, the experiments, they don't come out correct. There is a lot of failure. So when I get something done right and I'm happy with the product, to me it's a good day. Okay, it's a big day, it's an amazing day. So when I show my quilts and somebody liked them, it's a marvelous day. So I think that it's just a small little battles that we're fighting, and we're winning, with ourselves. So I think that that's what is, to me, a big day.
Gail Yellen's been busy too.
I have a fun new piece that people can use on their sergers. They can use it for quilting and embroidery, and it's called Thread Fusion. And it has 4 little pegs or pins on it that you can blend thread colors with. And it's just the most fun thing to use on my thing is mainly sergers, but it's great for a lot of different things. So that's really fun. And Brewer is the exclusive distributor.
And then there's Pam Mahshie, who never lets grass grow under her feet. Her love for her work in BERNINA is infectious.
Well, this is my first BERNINA University in person, so it's very exciting for me to be here. And, there've been just so many things that have been taking place over the last few months since we talked, and visiting with a lot of dealers. And I just like to get them inspired, both the consumers as well as at dealer events, so that they understand that serging is more than just finishing a seam or just for making a garment. I always like to tell people I like to bring them off the edge creatively when they use their sergers and their overlocks, because you can just do so many different things, and with decorative threads and applications and presser feet now that we have, it just makes it and opens a whole new world, opens up that new world for them.
The new BERNINA campaign it's a big day. What's a big day for you, Pam?
Today, being at BERNINA University for the very first time. A big day also is when I get to see the excitement on people's faces when they experience these new products and see the advantages of using them and how easy they are to use.
As a treat, we even got to visit with Thomas and Chris, two dealers from Switzerland who came all the way to Dallas for this experience.
So I'm a BERNINA dealer in Switzerland. I'm located just west of Zurich, about 10 miles west of Zurich. And I have a store I sell sewing machines. I have a service department. I have sewing classes. And I have another store in the same city, and then I sell fabrics and threads and all that kind of stuff.
How did you become a BERNINA dealer?
Well, actually, my grandfather started it 75 years ago. He started with that business, and then my father took it over. And since 2006, I'm in charge.
And what is your role with BERNINA? What do you do, Chris?
I'm a Swiss BERNINA dealer. I'm located near of the Lake Zurich, on the upper side of the Lake of Zurich in Rapperswil.
How did you become a BERNINA dealer?
Oh, that's a family thing. How many things at BERNINA. I'm in the third generation.
Phillip Ueltschi, the fifth generation of the family that owns BERNINA, was at the forefront of this event, representing his family. He talked with us about his impression of what's new, his impression of BERNINA University, and about being a new father.
Oh, there's lots of new things with BERNINA. Every year, there's lots of new things. As you know, we spend a lot of money, time, and effort to every year come out with new products, new tools, new products. Not only sewing machines, as you can see here at BU, we have lots of new notions, fabrics, accessories for the sewing and quilting community. So yes, it's always so exciting to come here once a year and see everything come together. We spend a lot of time to build BU, make our dealers happy, and I think, this year again, we have so much new products and not only products, but also tools and services that we can offer to our dealers, to our customers, that make it really special for our dealers, I think the Swiss engineering, the precision, and the joy that BERNINA offers a sewer, a quilter. I think when you sew with a BERNINA, it's just something different, and it really gives you joy to create a quilt or a garment piece, the precision, and of course the Swiss quality. It's a product that lasts over generations, and it is a product to really embrace sewing.
Since we saw you last, I understand there's a new member of your family?
Yes, I am lucky that I am a father. I have a 9-month-old son, Felix, that is obviously wonderful. And I really enjoy now, for us, BERNINA was always family. And for me, this was always a little bit just a saying. But now, as I'm a father and I have the 6th generation to pass on the company in the future, it is totally different and has a new meaning to me. So it's wonderful.
After many long days filled with information the size of Texas, Christy Burcham reminded us why people come to BERNINA University.
We had so many exciting new products this year. The headliner is the BERNINA 790 Pro, a new top-of-the-line machine that is an all-encompassing embroidery, sewing, and quilting machine. Has some really fantastic features. Kind of the big winners on this week that people have been talking about are the pinpoint laser and the customizable quilt files, and of course it has an automatic needle threader. So very exciting. But we also had a new CAFE special edition machine, the B570QE CAFE edition, and we had a new Yaya Han Edition, a bernette 79, and Yaya Han actually joined us here this week, so that's been really exciting.
So as the sun set on the last big night of BERNINA University, Phillip Ueltschi took the stage to represent his family and to share this family feeling with everybody in the room.
It's so great to be here on stage, and what a wonderful BU again. The motto for me tonight is the joy of family. And as you know, I'm a father now. And there's probably nothing more joyful to be a father. And many of you have approached me this week and said, Phillip, can we see pictures of Felix? And what is it like to be a father? So I thought I'll show you all some pictures of Felix. Yes, he's very cute, just like his father, I know. He's next week 10 months old. He's starting to crawl around, and yes, he's a really, really sweet baby. And obviously, it's not just joyful for me, but also for my wife, and especially also my family. My parents, my sister, my mother are really, really blessed to have Felix, the 6th generation part of the BERNINA family. The joy of family is not just my family, but the BERNINA family in general. I think, yes, BERNINA makes really, really great sewing machines, but I think what really sets us apart is that we are one big family. That we have you, the dealers, that we have our wonderful employees and our customers all sharing the same idea and the philosophy of sharing the joy of sewing. And I think that really makes BERNINA a unique brand. My sister and I, when we grew up, my parents, from really, really small, made sure that we were involved. They took us to BU, they took us to BERNINA events, they took us to the factory, and made us aware the importance of the BERNINA family. They made us aware that it's our responsibility one day to bring this family company to the next level, to make sure that we will pass it on to the next generation. So we always knew this is our responsibility.
Christy Burcham summed it up best.
To our partners at BERNINA International, thank you so much for the new products you brought us this year. They were so exciting, and it was such a joy to see everyone enjoying them in class this week. It really was a big day.
It's a big, big day, yeah.
Our thanks to all who took the time to share their stories with us. Stories about innovation, risk-taking, and meeting new friends. If you know someone you think has an outstanding story, a story that should be shared on this podcast, please drop me a note to meg@soandsopodcast.com or just complete the form on our website. Be sure to subscribe to, review, and rate this podcast on your favorite platform, and visit our website, soandsopodcast.com, for more information about today's and all of our guests. That's SEWANDSO podcast.com. And finally, I want to thank BERNINA for making this program possible. I'm Meg Goodman, and I look forward to you joining us next time on So and So.